Hi, I've been looking at Twitter and Facebook today, and in amongst all the talk about Corbyn and May, there's the usual scatter of anti-Muslim, homophobic posts and other shill divisions. And as far as I'm concerned, I mean, I just don't understand this social hatred towards homosexuality as a new world order agenda, you know. What we know about the new world order is that it feeds on fear and hate, okay? Paranoia and hate. Those are its two main ingredients of power. Without hate and paranoia, the New World Order could not exist. It's a simple fact. Add cognitive dissonance, judgment, social judgment, the New World Order's flying, it's sailing high. Because those people with money can cling to the judgments against the people without money. And the people with money, their judgments are going to be given more credibility, more propaganda, more media attention. They're going to be the ruling judgments, and the poor people will pick and choose from them which one they're going to vote in as leader. But at the end of the day, they're all following a ruling judgment. You know, hate against Jews, it's a Jewish conspiracy, okay? If you look through history, look through Jewish history, look at Jewish people, okay, real Jewish people through history, from wherever they are in the world, wherever they lived, and you'll find good Jews, you'll find some bad Jews, okay? You'll find the bad Jews are mostly rich people who, the very worst of them, are involved in abusing children. Okay? And you'll find a larger portion of Jewish people just get on with their lives, try to live in the world, follow the faith that they were born into, generally being of a service to their community, to the people around them, to their nation, whichever nation they're in. I've looked through history, I've witnessed a lot of Jews, so a lot of very prominent Jews as well, who spoke out, and prominent German Jews, who spoke out very strongly against Zionism and refused to support it and recognised it for the Nazi shit it always has been. You know, take away the word Germany and replace it with Israel, you've got a Zionist. Put Germany there, you've got a Nazi. It don't make no difference. And they feed on all these divisions. And yes, they are trying to ram homosexuality down our throats, the same as they're ramming down our throats the extremist Muslim. As if that's the whole reality of Islam, is extremism. Antiquated extremism. The whole reality of Judaism is this Zionist philosophy, which is really what? A collection of criminal people. It's a criminal psychology that says it has a right to be God on earth, and they have a right to control everybody, and that actually the only human beings are Zionists and their supporters. They're Jewish supporters. That's it. Everybody else is an animal. That's the fundamental reality of it. So you can go around hating your homosexual neighbour who probably drives a bus or is a nurse or a teacher or a doctor or generally just doing something as a service for society, a lawful member of society. Go and persecute them. You know, go and persecute the local Muslims who do nothing at all to you, are absolutely no threat to you. But, you know, go and pick a fight with them. Because that is what they want. That is what the Zionists want. Replace the word Zionist with Satanist, because that is who they worship. And that is at the core of the Roman Catholic Church. We know that Jesus was usurped and replaced with the satanic figure of Lucifer. Okay, and they deceived the people for centuries, you know, and the people are not judged for being deceived. It's not the people's fault for being deceived and being a Catholic or a Protestant or whatever. There's no burden of shame or guilt falls onto the individual people who hold a true faith in God in their hearts and who have no choice except to believe what they're told. You are not ignorant for being mystified. The people who are ignorant are the people that know and who chose to profit of keeping you mystified, because they know in mystification reigns confusion. And all the confusions of the world are today hell-bent on keeping all of this quiet. And as far as the evidence that I've witnessed in Britain, in the years research and my own personal experience of living in this country and actively trying to get help for children at risk, and you know, many years before the Hampstead case, which I have been involved in trying to get justice for all the children involved and implicated in that case, but the rest of Britain, it seems, isn't really that bothered. Well, there's going to be a change. There's going to be some kind of event this year, and people are going to start waking up. And it is about time we did. It's about time that we accepted the fact that you will never change the world in any positive way whatsoever by targeting non-violent, non-oppressive groups of people on grounds of their gender, or on grounds of their colour, or on grounds of their race, or on grounds of their faith. Okay, the only way that you're ever going to redress the imbalances of this world is to stand by and uphold universal law of abundance and compassion, which upholds every single human and child, or every single adult and child on this planet's individual and collective rights to live lawfully, in dignity, with respect, and rights of knowledge, rights to learn, rights to know, rights to understand the truth. So all the people who are involved in spreading hatred and sharing hatred and finding reasons to justify their hatred, understand that you are in full service to the New World Order. Are you being paid for it? Are you a billionaire? Ask yourself that. How is it advantageous to yourself to be participating in the hatred that's been handed to you on a plate? How is it possible for a nation of people who knows that our government unlawfully, illegally invaded Iraq and killed over 1 million people and polluted the entire land with depleted uranium? How is it possible for the people of that country to say one single word against their Muslim neighbours who've had to sit back and tolerate this from the government of the country that they were born in as Muslims? How is it even possible that they can do it? But they can, because when it comes down to it, all of the British people are under a spell. You're under a BBC word spell. Okay? A BBC word spell that has delivered us into the filth that we're existing in today. And as far as I'm aware, hating Muslims, hating Christians, hate is not going to get us anywhere. Not even hating the worst criminals. At the end of the day, hate what they do. Hate what they've done. Hate the impact. Hate the results. It's a waste of time hating the person. More than hate, the victim survivors need love. So, as much as you're hating someone, so where's your love? Do I hate Zionists? No. Do I hate what they do, what they stand for, what they hope to achieve? Yes, I do. I hate it. I hate it. I hate their philosophy. It's evil. But do I hate the individual Zionists? No. Why not? Because I understand that they are victims of a psychology they were born into, and that has rewarded them for upholding those thoughts. And I know how hard it is, because I've had to liberate myself as well. Not that I ever ascribed to any kind of racist philosophy, but even, you know, as close as I am to the human self, I was still infected by the opinions and judgments of this world, to the extent that I'd even judged myself. I was living under a self-judgment, a crippling self-judgment that told me I'm rubbish, and, you know, that's why bad things happen to me, because I'm a bad person. Really? What? And these good people with all this money and all this power, who've murdered people, who robbed, raped and killed, and you want to tell me that God has given them the money? No, no, no. They've robbed God. They've robbed God. And Jesus was right. Half the money belongs to God. And where's God's half? Yes. So don't talk to me about you hate for this and you hate for that and you hate. Because at the end of the day, you've got so much hate, people of Britain, people of the world, because we are hated. Okay? We are being hated by haters. They hate our rights. They hate the law. They hate our natural humanity that instinctively rises up against filth like this that's been done to our children. And they have the audacity to talk about, you know, to have a university lecturer in Cambridge giving a lecture about how paedophilia is normal. So, you know, as I say, ignore me away. Carry on with your hate. Don't bother to stand up for your human rights. Don't bother to protect your children. Don't bother to believe in the universal intelligence that actually created you and created this planet and the entire universe. You know, don't bother to have any faith in the law that intelligence has provided for us through people like Jesus, Prophet Muhammad. And I'm not talking about Sharia law either, because the only thing that's Islamic about Sharia law is that Islam included in it the right to forgive. So please get your facts straight. People who go around spouting Sharia law as Islamic. It is not Islamic. It was the law that people followed all throughout the Middle East at that time. Islam included into it the right to forgive. It's time people got real, and a lot of people don't want to know the truth, because then the truth denies their right to hate. And where's it going to go, all this hate that we're building up? And oh wait, what can you do with it now? Recognise it for the burden that it is and dump it. Dump it back at the people who deserve it, the people who robbed us all and who are destroying our planet, i.e. the global corporations, and they're the ones who are profiting off all the hate, the mystery and the confusion, and who supports them? Their churches, synagogues, mosques, okay, and banks, who are all controlled and owned by an essentially pedo-sadist global elite. And they all serve each other, and they all fight with each other as well, and they're all jealous of each other, and they all hate each other because they are insane. They're criminals. They live outside the law. That's what criminals do. Fight and kill each other, constantly fighting for power. Because in a lawless world, power is something you can punch people in the face for and get. But in a lawful world, it is not possible to get into power through doing criminal acts, because you will be immediately arrested. And that's what this world is failing to do, has failed to do. So don't talk to me about your police and your courts and blah blah blah, Queen of England, because your law has not protected the people, the children of Britain, and it never has, and it never will, until we get some truth and honesty and real humanity operating in our nation. Until we break free of this evil cloud of doom and gloom that's been hanging over us for centuries upon centuries. It's time to get human. It's time to protect our planet and our children, and we're not, you know, it is not going to be achieved through hate and division. We need to break through the divisions. At the end of the day, we're all human beings.